Hey, it's Streamline from Automator, another episode of What We Automate with AutoHotkey. Would be a kind of a special week. I'm here in Vegas visiting my dad, and I'm using a laptop also, so I'm not too sure how well it's going to record. So I'm going to kind of keep this brief, and we'll see how we go here. But I had already kicked off. Normally I would do the kickoff, but I want to make sure everything worked. It did, but I had to change some resolution stuff. Anyway, let's get back into the scripts here. Extract video. So I was working on this script. I used AI. We record our hero calls, obviously, and then during the call, I have a script where I can hit a hotkey, give it a name, and it'll help me build a file for extraction. And the file that we were extracting, I'll try to do another demo of what it was before. And it was fine, but it gave me the full code for the command prompt, running it from the command line with a FFmpeg, giving it the file path, giving it the start time, the end time, the other parameters of the information for FFmpeg to understand what to do, like overwrite the existing file and copy it instead of actually re-render it, so it makes it really, really quick, and the file name. And sometimes I would delete the extension to the file name, and sometimes the source file would actually be different than what it had there, so it was really kind of annoying because there was a lot of text and it was easy to mess up. So I used AI to just look at our original code and convert it into a function, and that's what this kind of does here. Now here we can see this is just an example of how it actually comes out now. I set the source file, the destination folder, and then I can just say, okay, I want to have the start time and end time, and this would be the name of the file. Now, I could give it a distinction or not. It doesn't matter. It will wrap it if it does have one. Also, I can leave these blank. So like here, you can see there's no start time. That would mean start at the beginning of the video, and no end time. That means go to the end of the video. So a little cleaner, a little easier to do. And what happens is automatically, these are at the top. So our script writes this part of this file into a separate file for the video that we're working on. So hour 1 and hour 2 and stuff. And at the beginning of the second hour, it will change the source file. This was an example of the hour 2. So this gets repeated down here when we start the second hour. On Fridays we have 2 hours, and Saturdays we have 1 hour. So it's automatically doing all that for me. Just cleaned it up really nicely and made it to where I can basically give this to anybody and they can borrow the concept, right? They don't have to look at the more longer. I don't know if I kept an example. No, I think I got rid of all the examples of what it was before. They were just much longer and easier to mess something up, so we just kind of cleaned that up. And I fed in notifications now, so when it finishes processing a video, it puts up a little thing letting me know that file's done, which is cool. So we just included I originally did it without the notifications, and then I just said, okay, let's include the notifications, just to help me see the process, because sometimes I'm extracting 7 or 8 of them, and I like to just see that they're done. So that's what that was. AHK Script Maker, Irfan's been doing some updates on that. He added the ability to jump to a certain line. So Control G, I think now will jump to a certain line. And that was important because in our tool, which I don't think we've edited it, but the AutoHotkey, let me see if I can hit a hotkey here to pull it up. Our hotkey string lookup tool will allow you to update your script by double-clicking it. If you want to edit it, it will jump to that line where that hotkey or hot string is, which is really, really cool. So it looks like it's kicking off. This is a old running Windows 10 laptop. I don't even know if the hard drive is an SSD drive. I probably should check that. Let me see if it actually did. I'm not sure if it's actually launching or not. I thought it was. And my Explorer, I should have rebooted. The Explorer seems a little buggy, so I can't even click my system tray right now. So I'm just going to go past it. Maybe it'll pop up and I'll talk to it if it does. So again, so in the AHK Script Maker, so he made it where now it will jump to that line in AHK Script Maker. It also jumps to it in Studio, in Notepad++, in VS Code, and actually I don't know if we added Cursor because that's just a version, and we should add the Google version of VS Code, Infinity, I forget what they called it, but a lot of editors are based off of VS Code because it's open source from Microsoft, and it will. Now it's launching. Look at that. Yeah, it's just there's this computer is just yeah. I did ship myself a second computer which is faster, but I don't know my wife. I gave it to her 2 weeks before I came out here, asking her to mail it, and then like 4 days after I got here, she mailed it. Yeah. If you want something done right, do it yourself, right? So lesson learned. Anyway, so here we can see hotkeys that are running. I can filter it on the files, so I could just look at a certain file, or I can filter it by I want just hotkeys or hot strings. We have built-in hotkeys now, so like Windows hotkeys, this would actually show Windows built-in hotkeys if we want to, and we can search. So let's say like, what's a clipboard? Well, I would have thought, oh, there we go. So here are some other ones built into my main one that have clipboard mentioned somewhere, so you can filter on them. That's still a lot. I don't know what's going on there. Why is it bringing up? That's interesting. Wow, how did that happen? I think it's just catching up. Let's try this again. Yeah, so I have a Control G for pasting the plain clipboard. Windows V, so this is one of those built-in Windows ones that normally we look at your AutoHotkey files and about 60 programs that we built in, and we just say we'll build in some of the Windows hotkeys. So if I can change this, I think, to Windows and remove. This should be, yeah, here's a bunch of built-in Windows hotkeys. I think these are all built for Windows 11. And Windows 10 is going to have a lot of those, maybe not all of them, but Windows 8 and 7 aren't going to have some of these newer stuff with the clipboard and other things. But yeah, this is a really cool tool. So if it didn't have, now this one wouldn't work, I have to go to one that's one of my scripts. Here's an old script that I still use. These are all defined, but if I want to double click this, it would open, because it tells me this is on line 1353. It should jump to that thing. Now, this editor that I'm using isn't actually the most recent one. We can try it, but I don't think it's gonna actually. Yeah, we're not quite done there yet. But once we do, ASM, which is our editor that we keep adding to, is going to be great. The other thing that he added was, well, no, he didn't finish that. But I thought up the idea of, hey, if I'm in ASM, let me restart it. Now again, this version of ASM that I'm running isn't the current version. I have a shortcut to an older version, so it should be more stable, but there is some weirdness on this computer we saw. Yeah, I think it's my Explorer didn't actually launch it. Yeah, because it's not registering clicks, which is very odd. But you know what I can do? I can just go here and say edit. And that will open it. At least I feel like that will open it. So here's this script that I just said edit. Now what we're going to add, like maybe under clipboard here, is to say, hey, copy, it'll just say copy active file. So it will take this file, but not the text, it will take the file and copy it to the clipboard. So I could go in here, hit copy to clipboard, and then just go paste the file, right? So I could paste it like into Telegram or to Chrome if I was uploading it on a Gmail or something. And I don't know of any other editor that does that, but I thought that'd be a really cool little add to do. This tool's got a lot of little cool stuff we've been adding to it. And our next step also, just FYI, is to add a lot of our built-in tools that we use day in, day out to edit AutoHotkey scripts. So those will be coming. And now, initially I was going to have that as a subscription. I might have it as an upper level, because the default version is $4.99. Maybe I'll make that version like $9.99. Nothing crazy, but we're going to be putting in a lot of our tools that we usually charge for. So we might be doing that. They will be baked in and won't be easy to extract, but they'll still be very powerful. So these are just some examples. More examples with the AHK editors. So as you can see, this folder, this where it says Joe, is mine, where Irfan Live works on this version here. But when he gets it to a stable point, he pushes it in here, so that way I can always have it, because I'm using it now for coding. So that's what all these files are here. Still more. I did ignore. I think we were adding. Oh, that's right. Yeah, we were making it not backup files, I think it was for Git, to just kind of ignore them, because otherwise it becomes problematic. So if Git is being used, if there's a Git folder, we will ignore those files, those AutoHotkey files. I think when we're searching and stuff, I forget. And we're doing a lot of work on the debugger. And Irfan, he's got a lot of the quirks worked out. There's still more quirks, but it's a very, very complicated thing, and he's done a great job. But we're not quite there yet. But I don't want him to spend too much time, because this tool is really meant for noobs, right, and for intermediate to advanced people that want to do something quick. And I want to add those tools before I finish with the debugger, because the tools I think everybody going to use. The debugger is going to be a much smaller group of people. Right, this is that lookup tool I mentioned. Launch editor, that's interesting. So we were doing a lot of work with this Google Maps API extractor, and we actually extracted a part of the hero call talking about what's in there now and the amount of data that was in the API, and we were selective, and I was showing it to Joey, my friend that we're collaborating with, of what's available. But it's crazy amount of data that's available in that tool. So we're extracting stuff and making it easier to find places and get reviews of people. So that we added where it automatically takes the text file and will open Excel. If you're doing stuff with Excel, you really should look at AutoHotkey, because it's just like VBA, except for you don't have to embed it into your file, and you can automate importing things in Excel. Standardize your report, and it's really, really simple stuff to do. Our Excel file library function is a great way to start using that. Let's see, we displayed the stuff in the Google Maps there. Scraping A to Z database. This is something we have access to. It's a very interesting place where you can sort by you can search for people, you can search for companies based on like SIC codes or NAIC codes or the types of codes. You can filter it by geography, a lot of different criteria. It's kind of like Info USA, if you ever use that. There's a lot of tools that are like this, but I have free access to it through my library. So I'm building a way to extract people that we might want to reach out to, like managers of restaurants or something, right? So a way to build a list for people. So that's all that was. Clipster, we thought we had a bug in it, and Clipster is great. You can take content like either text, not rich text. We did try rich text, but we realized almost no tools just use rich text anymore. So we have HTML, Windows files, or pictures, and you can store them if it's things that you use a lot. So you can have either a hot string or a hot key. You can type it, you can do whatever, and it will push whatever any one of those types of formats from the clipboard. It will take it from the file, push it to the clipboard, and then paste it for you. So we thought we had a bug in it during the hero call. I would have extracted it, but we messed around a lot, finally realizing it was just something with Irfan's computer at the time. So it was a sort of a waste of time. But it's really cool if you have HTML, like pretty links in HTML, or meaning that they're hyperlinked, like you have regular text and bold text, and then something is hyperlinked to stuff, and you want that to go into your email or to a Word doc, and you do it a lot, you can have a hotkey to just dump that in there. So it's a really cool little script. Here's some examples of how you trigger them. So we're just playing around, but this is like TAC would dump in the Automator, just sends the URL. Here's waiting for folders, so you can navigating to folders. You can paste in so you can see here's the HTML. You can, and then this is going to be bold, get the latest bold with, here's a reference, an A tag, it just breaks in a bad spot. The window snipping tool, right? So that's just a simple HTML example, and we have other ones, but if you go check out that tool, there's a video on that tool, so if you want to. Here's the time tracker I was talking about earlier. This writes the FFmpeg code and function, so this is the one that will monitor, and I can turn on and off the tracking of what topic we're on, and it will write it to a file, and it just saves me a crazy amount of time. So I was really glad. My son, I was working with him, he came up with the idea, and we built this, and it saves me a crazy amount of time. PlexAmp. In PlexAmp, I use that for streaming audio to my phone, but unfortunately it just lists this weird very artist. Anyway, it doesn't show the title, and so Irfan went through and wrote a script to go replace the title with into a different parameter into the file. So when I see them on my phone in PlexiAmp, I can actually see the file name. Crazy enough, they don't normally display it, which is weird, but that's just how they built it, and it's a free tool, so I'm not complaining, or at least I'm not complaining to them. URL memory. This is this tool that is updating beneath me here. So when I select it, it reads this file and looks for, let's see, URL memory would be in here somewhere. Of course, you would want to look for other things, right? But here's that is, where is it? It probably takes this line right here and trims off after the question mark, right? But let's see, is that, no, that A is capitalized, so it's actually pulling it from a different field. The A in Automator here, but we might be doing a regex for that, but that should have been capitalized here. But when it's displayed on the screen here, that I don't have to go back and post to update that URL. But it watches the clipboard for any URLs that have the Automator in it. If it does, it adds it to a script that I can go. Yeah, I still can't click my tray icon, so I can't easily pull it up. Unfortunately, Explorer is crashing on me, so let me just finish this video here. There's still the time tracker. We moved it. This was under Zoom, under a tool, and that's why I realized it's really much more about FFmpeg, so we moved it to the FFmpeg folder. And I probably should delete these so I don't get confused, but then we'll just launch it from when we launch the admin participants, because in Zoom I don't have a way to automatically disable the waiting room. It will automatically keep letting people in for me, which is really cool. So 50 files, that's what we did. If any of these things interest you, go check out the videos, or consider joining the Hero Group. We talk about this kind of stuff a lot. We also have been talking a crazy amount of using AI and how to get AI to either help you write code or build tools for you and build apps for you. So I hope you like that. Please like the video if you learned something, and talk to you soon. Cheers.